Well, here we are, everybody. It is time for the last two races of the season. As per usual, like we have been for the last 6 weeks. Gosh, it does not feel like that when I'm recording this back-to-back. But for the last 6 weeks, it has been kicking off with the qualifying times as per usual. The one thing I haven't been saying throughout all of these is that if you haven't been paying attention to the last few races, you probably should. It might be important because this race and the next race this race coming into Qatar, we are staring at a potential lockout of the championship a little bit early on, but realistically speaking, that's not going to be the case. It'd have to be more before/after the sprint in Abu Dhabi, but whatever we get here would have to help contribute towards that. So as per usual, we are kicking off with the fastest qualifying lap that I have done at Qatar in the Formula 2 cars, making our way through Sector 2 and staring the sun dead in the face, just casually being blinded. Not only here, but also right here as the sun sets through the desert. It is utterly blinding. It is brutal. Luckily, I don't do this in VR. I don't know if I will for Formula 1. I might try it and see, but we'll see how things go. Maybe not for a video. Maybe not for a career mode especially. But this part of the course caught me out so many times. I know this course. I know that you have to be full throttle through here, but I've been so focused. This track is so flat. There's not many landmarks that you can really tell of like which section you're coming up on, so it gets a little bit repetitive at times, especially through Sector 2 to Sector 3. But either way, we come across the line and we go into provisional P4. And for the fourth to last time of this season, that was a sentence, we go green flag racing. For the second to last time, we go sprint racing. This one is going to be in Qatar, so they're going to be 3 wide. We're going to be 3 wide. O'Sullivan turns into us. Maloney also kind of is collateral at that point, but we have front wing damage, and we're going to be dealing with this all race. It's not severe enough to be forced to pit road immediately. Thank goodness, because we need all the points that we can get over Isaac Hadjar. But we have damage enough on the front wing that it will affect us throughout the race. A couple laps later, this episode is going to be cut very tightly, by the way. There's going to be just rapid-fire edits here, so pay attention if you can. As we have a pass for position, we're going to go to the inside of Maloney, wheel-to-wheel. We already got the DRS at the detection point, and already by this point, it is pretty much done and dusted. We're going to go severely defensive, though, because we still have a whole host of cars behind us as a result of that first lap. Even Maloney, shockingly enough, is following us to the inside lane, trying to get in the slipstream and get to the inside of turn 1, but it will not be enough for him to go into P3. So we will set our sights on Victor Martins, where the next lap, coming to lap 5, we do catch up to Victor Martins, and it's going to be a very, very easy pass. As we go into turn number 1, quick and easy, done and dusted. Well, Martins tries to fight back on the outside, but will fight even harder on the inside with a broken front wing and a left front tire that's going to be wearing a little bit faster as a result of the damage. But we are up to P2. Hauger is now in front of us. Behrman's a couple positions behind us. He is effectively out of the championship running, if I remember the standings correctly. I know Hadjar was within 17 points. O'Sullivan has other ideas, as a little bit later on he catches up to us and passes us in turn 1. We try to go for a switchback, but great job by O'Sullivan to protect the inside lane to close off that apex, although he's a little bit slow throughout turn number 3, but we'll have to stay in third place for the time being. As we come through the middle sector of this race, we go way too far off track and nearly drop it in the gravel as well. That could have been a double enforced penalty, quote-unquote, by the track limit itself of the curbs as well as the gravel. So we fall back into the clutches of Ollie Behrman, and he will make his move here. Now that he has DRS on the front straightaway, we get shuffled back to P4. The cracks are starting to form as the championship starts to loom. Oh, it's getting a little bit stressful, but we are still ahead of Isaac Hadjar regardless, quite literally and figuratively. That is all that matters. As the next couple laps later, we start to catch up to Behrman. He goes defensive, but we stay committed to the inside lane. We'll go front to rear axle. try and get around the outside lane, but Behrman tries his best to defend, and he will do so. We can't get around Ollie, so we're forced to sit back behind him once again. As we go to the middle sector again, well, this is going to be very fascinating. You can see the tire wear as well. Look at the left front of that tire wear. It is absolutely worn. This is a fresh set of soft tires, by the way. The left rear is kind of... Well, I don't know about that one. The left rear is kind of worn as well in comparison, but not as much as the right side, so I have a lot of learning to do in terms of tire wear. But we do manage to stick within DRS range of Ollie Behrman. And this time, we're going to go for the pass. We're going to commit to it. We have the overspeed as well. He tries to go defensive, but it's not going to work out into turn number 1. We are close enough to O'Sullivan that we can also get DRS range by the next time we hit the front straightaway.
Okay, mate, we're not using as much fuel as we need to, so let's burn through some more now so that we're not too heavy at the end of the race.
And the most useless objective in a Formula 2 car, if you ask me, is the fuel level. Hauger has completely set sail. We have a couple moments on corner exit, and we just managed to hold on to it. We can't exactly rejoin safely, quote-unquote, so I decided to just ease myself onto the track and let Behrman through, because I don't know how that would be in real life, but I figure it's best to just let Behrman by, especially considering that my left front is utterly dying. Lap 17, we're battling Behrman again into turn number 1. Look to the inside, but can't quite get the front axle there alongside. We are thrashing the left front tire. We'll see if we can try and catch him again, but we're pushing so hard. We get the tires in the gravel. We slide off the track into the opposite portion, into the gravel as well. Our tires are so dusty, considering, again, we just hit the gravel, so we can't get back going as quickly. So now we fall into P7, but we'll very quickly get by Zane Maloney and Joshua Dirksen here in due time. Dirksen, we will very easily get past here. Look at the left front, by the way, 46% wear. It's not just the front wing. That is the damage of the front wing is helping a little bit as we get to 49%, but it is also the fact that I just didn't get the setup correct in terms of the, I think, tire pressure. Genuinely not sure. I genuinely have no idea, but we can't get to the outside of Maloney. We'll try for the switchback, but he just happens to protect the inside lane here with 2 laps to go. We have to get by, and we have to get as many points as possible. It is a stressful final couple of laps, and we'll jump ahead here towards the start-finish line as we head to the final lap. And we'll go around the outside, at least look to go around the outside of Maloney, but we just can't make a move. We can't commit. 52% tire wear on that left front, more than half of the tire wear of the left rear. So whatever's happening, it's not only just the aerodynamics that's ruining the left front, but definitely how much I'm pushing as we're right behind Maloney. We're going to go for it here in an unconventional area to pass in about turn 4, I think is what this corner is, not turn 5. But we are so slow. We're drifting, we're understeering, but we do manage to protect the inside lane. We do protect P5 enough to the point where we will come across the start-finish line and end the sprint race in Qatar in P5. Hauger with a win.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
And after this, it's the top 4 in mathematical range, but it's Isaac Hadjar with the largest threat as he's 13 points back heading into the future.
Welcome to the Losail International Circuit, carved out of the desert itself. Today, it hosts the Formula 2 Qatar Grand Prix. Originally built for motorbikes, but we're here for Formula 2 today. It's a flowing track, it's fast, in a 3-pronged shape, 3.3 miles, 16 turns, and just 1 DRS zone on the long straight. We're looking forward to some overtaking. Here is the grid for today's race, which will be starting shortly. A fantastic effort from Isaac Hadjar yesterday puts him on pole position, with Ollie Behrman alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Antonelli, Frostbite, Joshua Dirksen, O'Sullivan, Stanek, Martins, Hauger, Zane Maloney, Colapinto, Bortoletto, Enzo Fittipaldi, Paul Aaron, and Vishaw, Pepe Marti, Miata, Jack Crawford, Barnard, Correa, Cordial, and Kush Miney completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
And for the second to last feature race of the season, it's Hajar in pole position. We managed to get the jump on both Premas, and we'll set our sights immediately on Isaac Hajar. The only way for us to win the championship here is if Hajar DNFs. But even that, I don't believe it would be enough, because we would have to get the pole position, you'd have to get the feature race win, and have to get the sprint race win. Actually, I think I'm doing the math wrong for that one, but either way, we set our sights on Hajar, so I forget how to do math entirely. But even if Hajar did DNF, he would be 1 point back going into Abu Dhabi, and he's going to get loose here as we managed to get by. So we're just trying to create as much of a gap as possible here going into Yas Marina, trying to at least mitigate any and all damage. So right now he is, I believe, 17 points back rather than 13 points. And look at this, by the way, it's Hajar and Behrman that will be going side by side. Behrman helping us out a little bit, unintentionally, if you will. You can probably see me look back as well, but it's going to be Hajar and Behrman. The gap closes. They'll be side by side as they head into turn number 1. But it's going to be Behrman just coming out ahead, luckily creating a larger points gap between myself and Isaac Hajar in this race. The larger points gap, the better, as we go through to our first and only pit stop of this race. And we are down and away. We are one of the only driver that did not box. The only drivers that did not box are Barnard and Miney. It wouldn't be the first time I got the names incorrect, but we get going as we nearly fumble it on pit exit. No idea what it is with the slick pit exits, but Miney and Barnard will go to box. Hajar is going to be net P3 behind us and behind Behrman, very importantly. We do have the fastest lap for the time being. Again, any amount of points is better than no advantage whatsoever. As this lap, we set the fastest lap, a 137.731, 3 seconds ahead of Behrman. Antonelli also ahead of Hajar. Dirksen still 5th place. As we will come through the middle portion of this track. Remember what happened in the feature or the sprint race? Well, the opposite happens. It happens a little bit earlier. We actually lose traction mid-corner, so that's going to allow Ollie Behrman to get by us, but we will have DRS heading into the turn, heading down the pit straight. So it's going to be very easy for us to get that buffer back, the extra, I think, 7 points in our favor, as we get by Ollie Behrman into turn number 1 on lap 18 of 32, by the way. Keep an eye on that lap count. Again, I told you, it is rapid fire. We're on lap 21 now as we get loose and we'll go into the gravel, but we just barely hang on to it, trying to gas up and trying to hold on to it. And Behrman will get by us once again. This is a familiar sight, isn't it? As Behrman gets by us once we get loose. Once again, another familiar sight. No, this isn't the same clip repeated. Behrman goes more defensive this time. He's trying to hold off for the lead. As we have 10 laps left in this race, Hajar has managed to get his way by Kimi Antonelli. So we need any amount of points that we can get as we get ahead of Behrman. He is our key to the separation in terms of points that we need as we come across the start-finish line this time around. And Hajar had eventually gotten by Behrman. Indeed, as Hajar sets the fastest lap. I see that, and I go, all right, I'll do you one better. Because that extra point will come back to me once we have 2 laps to go. Here it is at the start-finish line, fastest lap, and that extra point back in our hands once again. We're not going to be dealing with this in Formula 1, luckily, but we will come through to the final lap. And Behrman steals the fastest lap from me and Hajar, so it's going to be a battle down to who can earn that fastest point. The top 4 in the championship, hilariously, exactly in the same order that they are as they will finish. It's weird referring to myself in the third person, but not only do we win, we get that fastest lap point.
Absolutely awesome. Just amazing, mate. Well done.
And that is another win to us on the season. We now have 21 points back to Isaac Hajar. It is a 2-car fight heading into Yas Marina. heading into Abu Dhabi, and it's going to start with qualifying as per usual. The fastest lap in qualifying under the lights this time, which, man, I really wish the Formula 2 future race was also under the lights in Abu Dhabi. It is absolutely incredible. Versus F123, in case anyone is still watching and very interested in the comparison, because I do own F123, the lighting here is actually better at night. I do not own F124, but whatever they did between 23 and 25, they did a fantastic job with the night lighting. It's more better, basically. I think it's a lot less haze in comparison, and it is utterly fantastic. I love that. You may see that Bearman is down in P16. I'm up in P14. We weren't having the best of qualifying sessions to start off with, but you know what? It's better than absolutely nothing. So we will definitely claw ourselves back up the order here with this qualifying time, though, just to be extra sure that we can secure that spot in the championship. Ideally, going into this, I want to try and lock out the championship at the sprint race. So that basically means I have to outscore Hadjar by 5 points just to tie alone. And I'm not sure if I would have won automatically or not. So ideally, 6 points is the number to outscore Hadjar by, just to fully make sure that there is no ifs, ands, or buts or any questions. I think I do have more. I think on countback I would win over wins versus Hadjar. I actually do not remember, but we'll come through the final 2 corners and we'll set our qualifying time. We do bleed a little bit of time, but we make it up in the last corner and we'll go up to P4.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please. Those lights.
And we are go for the final sprint race of the season. Hadjar and myself in opposite positions. I want to outscore Hadjar by 5 points. And I started reverse grid P7, so I qualified ahead of Hadjar. He qualified 10th in the regular qualifying, so through the main race it will be quite difficult for him to make up any positions, you would think. But with the DRS of this racetrack, it is absolutely brutal to try and hold somebody back. Just ask, well, I would say Sergio Perez, but he actually held up Hamilton in 2021. Ask Yuki Tsunoda if we want a more timely reference. Sorry, Yuki. But especially on the DRS straights, we already file in single file throughout here, through the opening section. Again, this is going to be a rapid-fire cut because we are going to be having passes left, right, and center here throughout the entirety of the sprint race, as well as the feature race, at the same time. Not exactly the same time, but you know, you probably know what I mean. But Hadjar has the fastest lap to kick off the sprint race. Aaron and I will be charging through to steal away the top 2 podium positions. Aaron's going to go around the outside, shockingly enough, of Hadjar. And this is going to help us a lot, as both of them will slow up. And we make contact with Isaac Hadjar. The left front portion of our wing is damaged, but luckily it's not too damaged enough to be severe. What is it with me damaging my front wing? Like, actually, seriously, how do I have such bad luck? It is starting to be insane at this point. Hadjar with the DRS on Paul Aaron. He will successfully defend from myself, but that is until corner exit, where we get just a beautiful run up. We get to the inside, and Hadjar immediately backs out. He knows that he is within championship contention still, but he knows that he can afford to lose 1 position here going into this race. So now he's 22 points back, but since he will be battling, especially with DRS, amongst myself and Paul Aaron, he has a chance to close that gap up in the points just ever so slightly. So any more points in Hadjar's favor, of course, is going to be devastating for me, but first we still have to get through the sprint race. We have to get through the next 20 laps. We have to get through Paul Aaron, who's currently leading this sprint race, and we're going to be setting ourselves up for an easy pass into turn number 1. Definitely not turn number 1, but we will set up a very easy pass and go back into the lead of the sprint race. We do go a little bit wide, but well, you heard the engineer. It was apparently an easy move, and we're going to be trying to defend as much as possible from Paul Aaron, but it's kind of hard to do when you have 2 doses of DRS straightaways here, and you don't have DRS. I've been on the opposite side of this as well many times, so I know how it is. But unlike the AI, I decided to play a few DRS games, sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally. This is one of those intentional times because we let Aaron get by, and now we're going to be the ones that go through back into the lead. So while Aaron had the lead for a few hundred meters, we're going to get that right back once again as we head to the hard left-hand sweeper, the long left-hand sweeper, just extra wide, basically. And we will cement ourselves in the lead, but Aaron is right on our gearbox. Luckily, not able to capitalize on making any moves. You can kind of hear the tires lock up, and there it is. Yeah, I'm still susceptible, just like the AI. I am still susceptible to mistakes. I am very susceptible to potentially throwing the championship lead away as things continue on through this race. Stanek has the fastest lap, shockingly enough. No idea what's happening with the DRS train back there, but we get the fastest Sector 1, so it's a lot of trading positions between myself and Paul Aaron in the opening laps of the sprint race, and I wasn't sure whether or not to leave some of it in or cut some of it out. So here it is, in case anyone was interested. Not sure if anyone would be interested in seeing us swap positions back and forth and back and forth. I mean, hey, a battle for the lead is a battle for the lead, and we're going to be wheel to wheel again, this time on the outside of Paul Aaron. And just like that, we will clear Aaron before the left-hand corner, but we try just barely in time to shut the door. And this time we stay on track as we skip ahead to lap number 10. Here I'm playing a few DRS games, this time intentionally, as I'm trying to give Paul Aaron DRS so we can stay ahead of Hadjar, because I want every single point possible to not go to Hadjar. So I decide, you know what, instead of letting Aaron stay and get swallowed up by Isaac Hadjar's DRS, I'll just give him DRS, but this is going to be a little bit unfortunate in terms of the objective. Spoiler alert, I do fail it, and it's in one of the most stupidest ways because I hate the conditions of these objectives so much. They are very annoying, to say the least, but we definitely gave DRS to Paul Aaron, that's for sure, but a little bit too much because he just nicks by.
Quite meet our targets there, but don't worry about it. He head down and chin up, and let's focus on the rest of this race.
I kind of got bullshit on the stay ahead of driver until lap whatever, because I feel like it should count to the end of the lap, not just, oh, you got passed by them for like by 2 millimeters, you lose the objective. It just doesn't really make sense if you ask me, but regardless, we still stay ahead of Paul Aaron. At least normally we would if he wasn't poking the nose to the left-hand side. He's a little bit in a unorthodox spot to try and make a pass for the lead, and he peeks out to the outside. He almost puts me offline. He'll actually try and go around the outside here, but we do defend, and I intentionally just stay slow on the apex there, and I am building up a train of cars behind me. It's a little bit terrifying. As Paul Aaron, you can hear the sound of a Formula 2 engine just rapidly approaching, and it's a little bit concerning sometimes, especially when you're not expecting it, but that time I was expecting it. I was expecting Paul Aaron to go through, and on lap 12 of 23, guess what? We're going to go by Paul Aaron again. You'd think by, at this point, just having fun with the AI, because I tried to feint with which position am I going to go. I was just like, ooh, which way? I'm going to go left, right, and I just dived to the right side. That's why I did the little weaving, essentially. I'm just trying to have fun at this point, trying to figure out, okay, which way do I go? But also in real time. We won't force Paul Aaron off the track. We do just stay within track limits, in case anyone's keeping track throughout the entire season, but that's of on-screen track violations. There's still probably a few non-canon off-track violations, as Stanek and Hauger will go side by side. We lose traction on the exit of the chicane, and we fall back 2 positions, and even more devastatingly, Aaron has DRS, so he will be ahead of Hadjar, and these two will not go side by side into this corner. So skip ahead to lap 14 in the first DRS zone. These two surely will be going side by side because Hadjar will have DRS, Aaron will not. I will. Hauger, I try at some point, I think, to bring him into the battle. It does not work out because he is just not fast enough to stick with me to battle for the top 3 spots. But Aaron and Hadjar will go side by side in the chicane. It's going to be advantage towards Aaron in terms of DRS, and this is brilliant for me because all I need to do is just follow Aaron through, follow Aaron past Isaac Hadjar, That's if Aaron was able to actually make a move on Isaac Hadjar, but for some reason he just doesn't. Not sure why, not sure if he just didn't have the overspeed or the acceleration, but we're going to be the ones to make the pass for Paul Aaron, and on Paul Aaron, because we're going to go a little bit advantageous, dive to the right-hand side, we don't make any contact, we get up to P2, and we set our sights on Hadjar down the DRS straightaway once again. Lap 17 coming to the end. We're going to go and overtake Isaac Hadjar. We kind of almost put him offline. Fastest Sector 2 of anybody. We do get a little bit of a better run in comparison to Hadjar. And we're going to do the same thing we did with Paul Aaron. We're going to pass Hadjar to the right-hand side. We make contact, though, to the inside. And we do technically get by Isaac Hadjar. We're going to try for the switchback. We intentionally/unintentionally give up the spot. We're going to be way loose here. A little bit of an off-camera corner, if I'm understanding that terminology correctly, but a little bit of banking on the outer edge of that corner exit. It is quite dangerous for cars to be unsettled here. Hadjar's going to go defensive. We'll go to the right-hand side. And as per usual, just move us back into the lead once again. Nothing different to see here, except Isaac Hadjar is going to pull ahead of us because we left too wide of a gap. Sector fastest Sector 2, or Session fastest Sector 2 again. We'll commit to the inside lane this time, but we do make contact with Isaac Hadjar, and I didn't want to do that. I could only tell from the fact that the driver raised his hand, so I'm going to go offline and just let Hadjar through. Aaron, I think, makes contact with us. It's all sorts of chaos. The plan that I had in mind has faltered quite a lot. We fling ourselves to the right-hand side once again. This isn't even for the championship. We're 21 points ahead. That's going to be to make the gap 22 points, but there's no feasible way that I could back up Isaac Hadjar to the gap of everybody else, to the clutches of everybody else. We do make contact that time. It's a little bit wheel-to-wheel, but we do decide to stay ahead this time around. As we will make our way through, just Twitchy in that corner as well. Twitchy under the bridge. We'll go defensive on lap 21, back to the racing line. Hadjar's going to go to the inside, and we'll let him go through very easily as we go through the chicane. Again, lap 21 of 23. And hey, guess what? We haven't seen this before. It's going to be a DRS pass. Past the support garage. Wow. Who could have seen this one coming? Definitely nobody that has been seeing a good majority of this. This is literally all the sprint race was. I wish I was joking. We decide to back off and not pass Hadjar until the next lap of lap 22. And this time, we're going to go and commit for the pass. We're going to go full throttle, at least try and commit to the pass. We'll fling ourselves to the inside, hard on the brakes. We take the lane away from Hadjar, and we go defensive. We put him a little bit offline as we come through to the final lap. And right now, it's going to be tied in terms of gained points. It would be 21 points going to, 21-point gap to Isaac Hadjar still, if he does finish with the fastest lap. It's 9 points for second place. And then with the fastest lap, it would be 10 points, which is the same as the sprint race winner. So I have to hope that Antonelli has something for Isaac Hadjar. Could I have played some DRS games? Sure, but right now it's a matter of just finishing this race, trying to defend against Isaac Hadjar. As we head through the first DRS zone, we go defensive back to the racing line, and Hadjar is not going to be able to follow through in time, although he will have a lot of overspeed as we will go into the first chicane. He doesn't make a move, though. He sits behind. A very wise move by Hadjar because he will have DRS going into the last DRS zone, the last passing opportunity that he has on this racetrack. We have to go as defensive as we can. We'll stick to the left-hand side. We'll force Hadjar to go around the outside. If he wants the lead, he'll have to go around for it, quite literally, and he might go under for it, but we park on the apex, and we will successfully defend against Hadjar as Antonelli and Aaron have caught up to P2. I'm hoping that they can make some sort of a pass, but alas, didn't mean for that to rhyme. They will not be able to, as Hadjar sees the gap, makes a little bit of contact actually, but we just managed to hold on to it. That would have been a controversial sprint win if that went any differently, but we do manage to defend. Hadjar tried to go for it, but we will have 1 point in our favor heading into the future race for a championship. And their engineer is so stunned, so silent. I don't blame him. It's a 22-point gap heading into the last race of the season. Can we win the F2 championship in our rookie year?
It's race day for our young drivers here in the United Arab Emirates, where the Yas Marina circuit is about to play host to the Abu Dhabi Formula 2 race. Let's get started. Yas Marina circuit is a 3.2-mile racetrack built on the man-made Yas Island. In addition to the 16 corners, it features 2 very long straights. Now these will be the drivers' main overtaking chances today into turn 5 and turn 7. As we're now moments away from the off, let's take a look at the grid order in which they'll start today's race. Andrea Kimi Antonelli lines up on pole position, with Gabriel Bortoletto alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Colapinto, Frostbite, Amory Cordial, Hauger, Crawford, Stanek, Hajar, Paul Aaron, Maloney, Dirksen, Juan Manuel Correa, Ritomo Miata, Fittipaldi, Behrman, Pepe Marti, Kushmini, Verschoor, O'Sullivan, Martins, and Taylor Barnard completes the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
And it's lights out. We're away for the last race of the season, a championship, technically, mathematically on the line for us as we go around the outside of Kimi Antonelli for the lead here at Yas Marina. Exiting turn number 1 through turn number 2, we'll have the advantage through turn 3 if we can carry the speed through, but we do get a little bit of understeer and we don't want to run into Antonelli. But it's going to be a very, very easy win unless something catastrophic happens. We just have to make sure we get to the end. But I want to go out on top. I want to go out with a win. We've had a questionable start to the season, a very unsure start to the season. And 5 laps in, Colapinto is about to play spoiler. Shockingly enough, he knows, I'm sure, that he's not competing for a championship, but he wants to get his name out there for Alpine. He wants to get his name up here in the final race of the season, make a name for himself before he moves up inevitably to Formula 1 for Alpine. Bortoletto, hard-coded of course as well, to move up to Sauber, Antonelli to, Antonelli to Mercedes, and then of course Hajar into Racing Bulls. But where we're going to be sitting, we have no idea. We could be at Alpine, but I've learned that at the end of this, we could be going anywhere, despite the fact that we are part of the Alpine Academy, but it's only for the F2 season, so we could end up going anywhere next season for Formula 1 as we go out, hopefully, with a win on this season. We want to go out with a win this season, as Colapinto is going to try and fight us for the lead once again, and he's going to be a little bit more aggressive in terms of shutting the door and being more defensive, backing us up just a little bit, I feel like, in the chicane. And we'll have DRS this time, though, to get by Colapinto on lap number 7. Much like the sprint race, I cut it out a lot more this time, but it's a lot of back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, especially here. So that's why in the sprint race, I left all that in. In the feature race, well, I left a lot of that out because, I mean, come on. I can only show so many of the same thing, basically all the time. But Colapinto does, shockingly, get back by us. He's showing his worth here for a potential Formula 1 seat. So we activate DRS. We have Bortoletto behind us. Cordial is behind Bortoletto. Antonelli in 5th. Hajar, shockingly, remember, he started in 10th place. I was about to say, shockingly, nowhere to be found. He did qualify for 10th and only had reverse grid sprint pole. But with that clean air, he is a dangerous, dangerous person in terms of his pace. He could challenge for the lead. It is very possible that Hajar could potentially make his way up through the field, depending on how the DRS trains look. But it is a train if you look at the track map in the bottom left, as we see Colapinto make his way around us again, but this time we'll put on the defense. We'll have the wheels still to his right-hand side, wheel to wheel, before we go under the Marina's Hotel. And we're going to try for an unorthodox move. Try and pass around the outside. Colapinto, though, not having any of it. We're not going to have any of Colapinto's defense, as we'll stay side by side in the final 2 corners. Man, this was for if the championship was between both of us, this would be even more exciting. But Colapinto's not racing for a championship. We forcefully closed the door, but we have to give him the car's width basically because he was still there. He still hung on. He'll go back to the lead, and what a defense from Franco Colapinto. He is absolutely showing his worth. I don't know what happened in between the rest of the season and this race, but Colapinto has decided to fully choose violence no matter who is in championship contention. But I'm about to have other words to say about that because we will try and make a move. We slide a little bit, trying to get to the inside of Colapinto, but we will have DRS in our favor. And we're about to make our way up to the chicane once again. Colapinto goes a little bit defensive. We're going to go to the outside lane saying, you know what, if you're going to give us that space, then we'll take it, especially considering the fact that, well, our right side or left side tires, we're still within track limits, and knowingly well aware that I gave Colapinto DRS this time. But you know what? I don't really care. Also, if you see fireworks, no you don't. That's some sort of a bug with the game. I genuinely have no idea why. I guess it's after the night race for Formula 2, the fireworks just don't disable heading into the feature race. As Kushmani's retirement triggers a quick virtual safety car. And it's going to be the quickest virtual safety car in the history of virtual safety cars. You can time it if you want with the lap timer as well, as a use of a pseudo timer, because it is going to go away in a couple corners. So I'm thinking, okay, well, what can I do here? I'll try and keep pace. I thought about boxing here, and then we got the VSC ending message, so that changed my entire plan of potentially boxing early. And what I tried to do there was back up a little bit so I could get a little bit of a run up, but that didn't happen. But 2 laps later, we're still battling Colapinto. He's going to make his way around the outside of us, and he'll very willingly give us DRS here. We'll stay to the inside. We'll give him the car's width. We don't open the steering until here, but Colapinto goes over the curbs just like we did in the sprint race, but he won't have DRS for this straightaway. So Bortoleto as well, Cordial, Hajar, who has made his way up through the order. Everyone is about to make their way past Franco Colapinto, who falters now, falls back to at least 3rd place. Bortoleto snuck his way into the lead. So now we're a little bit on the back foot. We know, again, that we can secure the championship still, just by finishing the race, basically. We just have to finish, basically, I think, P8, if not higher, if Hajar wins. But right now, we don't have to worry about that, considering we're battling now Bortoleto for the lead. So first it's Colapinto, now it's Bortoleto. We're going to go around the outside and with ease clear Gabriele Bortoleto around the outside, being a little bit more daring on corner exit with the throttle application. And we'll make our way back up to P1 this time, locking up the right front just a little bit, but still holding on to the position. Bortoleto ends up getting by us a couple laps later, but I decide that's okay, it's not really worth battling, as Bortoleto will box and head into pit road, much like pretty much everybody else, except for maybe a couple other cars. About half the grid, I think, will go to box. We're going to go in on this upcoming lap. And look at the train of cars, and look at the gap that we have. Hajar is going to be the one to keep an eye on. 29 seconds, as we have a little bit of a slow pit entry, and trying to get every little bit of speed possible. We managed to get down to 57 kilometers an hour. That could have been devastating had we gotten a 10-second penalty for speeding on pit road. We are down in the way with a total of a 27.5-ish second stop through pit road. Well, I'll say 27.5 second stop. 27.5 seconds total in pit road, but that does not include the pit exit, which is very unorthodox, very unique in its own right. And we do, luckily, exit ahead of Isaac Hajar. Unluckily, though, we are within DRS range of Isaac Hajar. And he's the one currently with the fastest lap with the new set of tires. We don't exactly have any warmth in our tires, so I go defensive, and not only defensive, but try and warm up the tires just a little bit. So not necessarily driving, just trying to warm up the tires. We'll go stick ourselves in the middle portion of the racetrack. Hajar will go by us with ease. I try and look to see if I can sneak up to the inside, but obviously not. No move is going to happen into the chicane, as our tires are still warming up, and we'll see if we can catch up to Hajar here with DRS. We didn't apply it fully, though, as soon as we could have, So we'll see if we're going to be able to catch up to Hajar into turn number 1. Can we get to the lead? We'll look to the inside, but he just closes the door. So I'll try again a couple laps later. Lap number 17. This time we're a little bit closer. This time we hit DRS in time, and this time we'll go wheel to wheel and past Isaac Hajar into P1 on lap 17. He'll try and fight back, but we have the momentum on corner exit. And then we head up to lap 18, a DRS straight. Once again, Hajar's going to go to the right-hand side. We'll force him to go to the right-hand side. But can we outbrake him into the chicane? We do, but we also outbrake ourselves just ever so slightly, but we do stay within track limits. A little bit intentionally hesitant to get on the throttle, so we get DRS instead of Isaac Hajar. Please do not take a shot anytime I say a driver's full name. You will probably get alcohol poisoning. In the meantime, we'll go to the inside. Hajar a little bit indecisive in terms of defending, so we'll stay wheel to wheel. We don't need to be racing Hajar for the race win. We already have the points. I am aware of that. I am very well aware of that. But at the same time, I want to go out on the top step of the podium. It's a storybook ending. Obviously, who wouldn't want to pass up that chance, especially when they have the opportunity to do so? But you can't do that when you really outbrake yourself in the next lap. So this time, we're going to let Hajar go. We do take the DRS, but because of the speed difference, we're not going to have anything for Hajar heading into this turn. So it's going to be pretty self-explanatory. We do have the overspeed, but obviously not into the corner. It will not be enough for us. So we'll sit back and wait for a couple more laps as we'll see if we can make our way past Isaac Hajar. We lock up the right front ever so slightly, and with emphasis, we get back into the lead on lap number 20 of 33. It is a dogfight for the lead. It's an unnecessary dogfight for the lead, all things considered. But man, if it isn't fun, because here comes Isaac Hajar once again into the chicane. We go past the first DRS straight, and we'll follow Hajar through, and we'll activate DRS. We have a chance once again to pass Hajar. It's just been this back and forth, replicating the sprint race that we have. This time, instead of under the lights, it's in pure daylight, and we will try and outbrake Hajar a little bit, and it does not prove successful as Hajar very easily gets by us for the race lead. So we're going to go ahead and try and fight Hajar for the lead once again. And all we have to do is just follow Hajar under the Yas Marina bridge and not make any mistakes, although we do take too much curb and we slide and we're in the wall.
Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
Well, that fucking sucks. Shit. I have to hope when I hit this button, Hajar is at least P2. If he's P2, that's fine, but if he wins the fucking race, I don't get the championship. Not that that really matters, because I'm going to Alpine after this, but still. Oh, man. I do the thing where it's like, oh, I have the car back in control, so I hit the gas, but I don't actually have the car back in control, so let's hope he doesn't win. Well, yeah, I know. Yeah, I am aware. I'm only going to hope. That's all I have to do is hope.
And so the
Fuck.
celebrations begin, and they are so well earned. It might have looked simple at times, but any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, a high level, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now. We have a new Formula 2 champion.
I can only do burnouts with a broken car, so.
Takes the checkered flag to win the race.
Well, they could have clocked off already this season, but they wanted to sign it off in style. Brilliant stuff, taking full focus into that one to grab the confidence into next year.
P2's nothing to sneeze at after all that. We did have a really competitive season, but god damn it, man. I can fully admit I threw that away. I was like, I should have just hit the brakes because it's like I should have known. I did know. I didn't have to finish in first.
What a year it has been. What a story we have seen. I've been Alex James
Oh,
on the microphone.
man.
Thanks to the whole team here. We'll see you next year when Formula 2 returns.
Well, I guess I got third in the standings. Wait, hold on. I think even without the points for the pole you scored, let me double check. Yeah, I would have solo gotten Van Amersfoort to P3 in the standings anyway. Nice job for the Baldy, but damn, 4 points. That's hilarious considering it was 2 points by the real life Formula 1 championship this year. But fuck it now. Let me save the replay real quick. Man, I'll let editing me take over for now again, but fuck. That's after a sprint win too. Damn. I think if Hadjar didn't get P2, that's what I was hoping for. If Hadjar didn't get P2 in the sprint, I would have had a better chance. I wanted to lock it up before, but I didn't. Oh well. Well, that does it for this season. Hopefully all of you enjoyed watching. I am still absolutely devastated that I'm still devastated that I lost by 4 points, but oh well. I've not started as of recording this on December 23rd, at least the voiceover, I have not started the F1 series just yet. I might live stream that, no idea, but you'll probably find out by the time this video comes out, considering it's going to be done well in advance because I learned the hard way this time. I should probably do that. Here is the schedule for next career in-game season, by the way. We have Melbourne, Shanghai, Suzuka, Bahrain, Jeddah, Miami, Barcelona, Canada, Austria, Silverstone, Zandvoort, Monza, Coda, Mexico, Brazil, and no, that is not a typo. Yes, I am ending in Las Vegas. Sue me. But don't worry, I'm hoping the championship ends way sooner than Las Vegas. One can hope. But I think for the 2026 one, I might try and end it in Brazil to actually, make sense. So if I could order the championship in any order that I want, I would love to, but I literally cannot. So thanks, EA. Really appreciate that. Maybe we'll get that as a feature for 2027. We'll see. But hopefully everyone enjoyed watching this series. Thank you all so much for watching. My voice is shot, so I'm going to go. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in Formula 1. Which, by the way, yes, I have chosen my team. And, no, it is not Alpine. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but you know what? It works.